Loungers. Oh, we got a couple of good beans in here already today. Got Rex, we got Don Boss, we got Seton Tube, we got Minion of the East. Hello, hello, hello. Ah. Hello. Sunray, Taka, hello. Hope you're rested up and the drawathon was a big success. The drawathon was indeed a success. Rested up is another matter entirely. But we do have kind of a short day today, so I'll probably be able to get some rest and stuff after this. But let's get our introduction in, shall we? Yep. Hello, loungers! I'm your eldritch gentleman, tentacled mangaka, proprietor of the Tentacle Lounge, Malik Torihane, accompanied as always by my lovely receptionist, Wallet-chan, the living definition of money talks, and over here, we do casual gaming, chill art streams. We are sometimes lewd, sometimes wholesome, but always loving and supportive. I welcome you into the lounge and hope you enjoy your stay. It's a lovely day for a What If, and as I mentioned at the top of the hour, we have a short day today. We only have one thumbnail to do this week, as Masako and we, the crew here at What If Weekly, are prepping for the big Christmas What If story. I already know what it is. It's gonna be wholesome, and I'm gonna get a big old list. So we'll be working hard. We're gonna be working hard over the Christmas month. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, Don Boss. But yeah, we've only got one thumbnail to cover today, so we're probably gonna cover the thumbnail. We'll cover a little bit of Dragon Ball New Age, probably. I'm excited for the Christmas themed What If, yeah. As Minion had mentioned, I had my drawathon over the weekend. It was a big success, but I am very tired. I am very, very much worn out, but it was a big success. I'm basically caught back up to where I should be, and no longer in worry wart mode. Yeah, so, I think what we're going to do today is we will do our one thumbnail. We'll do at least a page of Dragon Ball New Age, and depending on what we have in terms of time left after that, we'll figure something out. We'll either maybe do another page of Dragon Ball New Age, or maybe we'll do something else. But enough of my gawking and chatting. Let's head over to the art area and see what we actually have going on for today. Also, if you guys didn't notice, you see that 700? We're only 9 away from 700 on my Twitch, which is super duper freaking cool. And you guys also might notice that I've been putting out shorts a lot more. That is because I have learned to do editing. I'm doing my best to try and get better at it, but almost all the shorts that have come out over the last 2 weeks have been done by me. And I'm having a whole lot of fun with them, and I'm planning on doing more, including some Dragon Ball New Age lore bits. Actually writing one, I started writing one earlier today. And I think the first one we're going to cover is True Super Saiyan. So, keep your eyes peeled for that. But enough of my gawking, let's head over to the art area. We can turn off our request queue. There we go. Alrighty. I think our chat box might still be buffed. Fluffer butt. Let's see. Chat box. I think it's working. I'm not sure though. Yeah, if it's scuffed, I might have to reload it. I don't know though. If it's not, it's okay. Ah, there it goes. Yeah, it's just slow going. I don't know why it's doing that. It's only YouTube. Like my Twitch chat box is fine. But as you guys can see up on the screen, we are continuing the Bobbity Turned Good story, and he's teaming up with Beerus to erase one pestery god. That's one divine being all knocked off the census. And we're going to be diving into this ever so briefly. But before I do that, chat, I'll be honest, you never checked out that story. I've checked out bits and pieces of the Bobbity Turned Good story. It's like I said, I haven't had the time to do like a whole lot of anything. I've just been super duper freaking busy. But we're gonna, we'll be diving into this in just a second. I need to, Dr. J, hello. I'm going to make a quick run into my, into the kitchen area of the office and grab myself a cup of coffee and, a water for later. And, when I come back, we're gonna dive right into this. So, don't go nowhere. I will be back in just a moment. In fact, I'm not even gonna put you guys on BRB just yet. I'm just gonna, because I will only be a second. So, don't go nowhere. I'm about to disassociate really bad. All right, here I go. I'll be right back. I have returned. All right. I'm doing pretty good, Rex. Got everything. I think we're all set. Yeah. Hey. Coffee over here. Yeah, we've only got this one thumbnail for today, so like I said, today is probably going to be kind of a short day. I'm also extremely tired. But we're gonna try, we're gonna do our best. We're still gonna be here. We're gonna have fun. Thanksgivsmasween? Thanksgivsmasween was fun. And yes, I call it Thanksgivsmasween. Thanksgivsmasween, Thanksgiving. Well, it's a joke that my buddies and I started a long time ago, back in high school. Uh, because like it seemed like every year the like Christmas decorations came out earlier and earlier. And as a matter of fact, like even this year, like 2 weeks before Halloween, I already saw some places had Christmas decorations out for sale, right? But this was happening before, so my buddies were just like, you know what? Instead of just like, complaining about it or whatever, why don't we just combine all three holidays? We'll combine Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Halloween. We'll just call it Thanksgivesmasween. And we'll have a Christmas tree decorated with Halloween decorations, and you can put your Thanksgiving turkey dinner underneath it. Your Thanksgivesmasween tree. So every year, starting in October, we have a 3-month holiday of Thanksgivesmasween. Now I know a couple of you guys interact with the shorts and stuff that I post, but hey, who's paying attention? Some ones in chat. Give me some ones in chat if you actually watch the shorts that I post. I need to know. We got Don Boss. All right. I appreciate it. Wow, just it's okay. It's okay. Now, some of the shorts I do actually get picked up pretty good. Which Dragon Ball Z filler character do you think would make a great new addition to the? Well, I would never call them the Z team because I hate when people call them the Z Warriors because they are not. That's not their name. What would make a good addition to the team? I think if he trained, maybe, Upa? Well, he's not really even a filler character. I don't know. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta make sure the stream bot is on. Hold on a second. Through all that trouble, and I don't even know if my bot's on. It is now. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really, like, thought about, like, filler characters. Arbol? I mean, he was good for what he was. You know, he was supposed to serve as a vehicle for that special, but that's about really it. He's not a character I feel like has a lot of, like, meat to his story, you know? So, like, I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about him. Which Dragon Ball character do I find hard to freehand draw without a reference? Honestly, like Beerus and Moro, because they are so visually unique and distinct from most of the characters. You know, those are two characters that I find myself always having to use reference with. And again, it's because they're so visually unique. They don't have the, you know, the standard proportions and faces that other characters. Unless you're talking about like Moro's 73, in which he is just as generic as can be, and you could draw him, you know, without reference freehand in your sleep. Cooler's the hardest for you to draw? No, I actually had a fun time drawing Cooler. It was one of the reasons why, like, when I first started doing Dragon Ball New Age, I was considering keeping Cooler in as part of the canon of Dragon Ball New Age, but in the end, I wound up saying, you know what, it's better to just try to keep everything as simple as possible, and to not pick and choose which movies are canon and not. So eventually we just said, you know what, none of the movies, besides like the new Battle of Gods film. And then there's nothing past Battle of Gods. Beerus and Whis, but mostly Whis. Whis, I sometimes have to reference, but I'm usually pretty good for Whis. And it's only because, like, I haven't drawn him a whole lot. I actually have an animanga of the Revenge of Cooler movie. Piplup, hello! Thoughts on the Dragon Ball anime buffing up characters? It's something that I've frequently, like, cited as one of the reasons why I don't, like, whenever I cite a feat, I always cite the manga. I never cite the anime. It's because the anime tends to buff up characters to unreasonable degrees. Like, the anime is the main reason everybody thinks Kid Buu is the strongest Majin, when it's not. And that's all because of the filler fight that he has with Goku. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the anime pumping up characters just, you know, for the sake of drama and stuff like that. Especially, like, when, like, they buff these characters up like that, and then they wound up being, like, you know, in the actual, like, in the actual continuity, like, shown to be a punk. So they do all this stuff, you know, in the filler, and then in the actual continuity, they get shown up and they get turned, you know, they get jobbed out like a punk. And then you're just like, oh, well, they're not as cool as I thought they were. Yeah, so, you know, in general, I'm not a big fan of, like, the filler content. But it, again, this is also, like, whenever I cite a feat or something, when it's in regards to a character, I always cite the manga. I never cite the anime. Because the anime is full of a bunch of contradictions that contradict the actual source material, the stuff that matters. Filler fight with Super Saiyan 2 is your favorite filler? Hey, you can like it if you want. I just will never cite that as a good source as to who is, like, the strongest Majin or anything like that. You're free to like all the filler you want. I mean, I like the Arlia, the whole Arlia filler thing. That's one of my favorite filler bits. I love that. But I know that it's just filler, and I could never cite that as, like, a good source for anything other than, oh, well, this is, for me, anyway, it's entertaining. No, this is Babidi. This is from the What If Babidi Had Turned Good. He's teaming up with Beerus to get rid of Zamasu. Do I have any criticism on Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans? I mean, it's a TV special. That's about it. You know, again, that's another thing where it's like, you know, it's one of the things you shouldn't take too seriously, because it's, you know, originally it was meant to be a promotional piece of anime for a video game. Kind of like Super Dragon Ball Heroes, how it's meant to be a promotional anime for the video game. Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans is in the same vein, basically. You know, so it's a thing where I wouldn't take anything that it says or does with the... I would take everything that it says or does with the heaviest grain of salt that I could. And as like a TV special, it's fun. It's fun and it's fine. Thoughts on Cinderella? It's a good story. Now, do us in the background. Oh yeah, anime sometimes like will make like really fun references, stuff like that. Yeah. Japan loves its puns. Japan loves name puns. They think they are the funniest thing. That's why like almost every anime / manga character, their name is based on a pun. They think puns are hilarious. Which writing do I like the best, Toriyama's or Toei's? Toriyama, hands down. I don't do JoJo poses. I'm gonna, like, this is my hot take. I'm not a big fan of JoJo. I gotta be perfectly honest. I am not a big fan of JoJo, like, almost at all. I watched season 1 and 2, and I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of get behind this. Then when it came to season 3, the season everybody said was the one that I had to wait for, and that's the best season, and that's the one that's most remembered, etc., 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 I got bored and dropped it halfway through. And I am now convinced that the only reason people like JoJo is because of the stands, the poses, and the memes. It's basically, it's a meme show. So, I am not a big fan of it. And, so, like, the whole JoJo pose thing is just kind of, it's kind of lost on me. Hey, you're free to prefer to Toei animation. Toei's writing over Toriyama. That's fine. I just prefer the works of the original author over the people who are trying to imitate what he does poorly. In my opinion, anyway. Yeah, I don't fault anybody for liking JoJo. I could see why people like it. You know, I understand why people like it. It's just, you know, it's one of those cases where it's just simply not for me, you know? Which version of Dragon Ball AF is my favorite? Young Gigi's. Then it would probably be Tablos' version, and then Foibles. At least you're not the type to say L opinion or you like trash anime. I used to be. I used to be that person, but then I realized how shallow of a mind of an opinion and a mindset that is. Yeah, we all were that edgelord who thought that their opinion was right and everybody else was wrong. We all grow out of it eventually. Some of us, you know, sooner rather than later. What the? Now? Even if I don't agree with something, yeah, I don't do the, oh well, my opinion on this is trash, you know, kind of posts and stuff anymore. When I was first thinking about like restarting this channel, that was the approach I was going to take. I was just going to basically rage post about all the things that I didn't like, and then I hated the mindset that I got into with that. I feel it's such a, like I said, a very shallow-minded mindset to think that you get to be the arbiter of everybody else's opinion, and I don't like that. I don't like the mentality behind that, so I decided not to. Instead, I became a VTuber, and I want to spread a bit more positivity and stuff in the community. Do I ever get tired of the isekai or slice of life anime tropes that most modern animes do? I gotta be honest, I haven't actually watched a whole lot of modern anime. Simply because I haven't had the time. Isekai, I could probably live without, but like slice of life, I actually like a lot of slice of life anime. I mean, heck, my favorite part of Dragon Ball Super is the 9 weeks of peace, where we got all that slice of life kind of stuff. Like when they played, where we got the baseball episode and stuff like that. Those are my favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Super. Upsilon, hello! I think Dragon Ball Super Superhero actually had a lot of good qualities. I think it was a very, like, decently put together film. There's more than just the whole Patara retcon. There's more than that behind the reasons why I don't like Super. That's actually going to be a very small like thing that I'll be covering. Will be like what I wanted to make originally a long form video about. It was called the Death of Consequences. And how Dragon Ball Super takes away any, like, it removes the stakes from a lot of things and makes everything too consequence-free. To the point where, you know, why would you even care about it anymore? You know, one of the things with, like, the whole Room of Spirit and Time was that originally, you were only allowed to use it for 2 days, lifelong. And if you spent even a minute more than the 2 days you were allotted, then the room door would disappear and you'd be locked in forever. It was a way to balance the insane power that it gave you because you were allowed to train for a year in a day. But then Super comes along and says, you know what? Nah, we're just going to take that away. Use it however long you want. And it takes away all of the stakes of using that room. It is now completely consequence-free. And it was the same thing with the Patara. You know? The Patara, you know, initially the risk of using it, yeah, it's a fusion that you can't mess up. Which is the fault of the fusion dance. The fusion dance takes time. You have to learn the moves. It has to be perfect. And you only get 30 minutes or less, depending on how strong and how much energy the fusion that you use is. So those are the inherent faults of it. But the Potara originally was, yeah, you don't have to go through any of that. But the trade-off is you're fused forever. There's no unfusing. And when they defused Vegeta the first time, they really didn't give you an answer as to why, but they did kind of like float the idea that the inside of Boo's magical body is just nasty and it dissolved the fusion. So they tried to explain it. But the retcon that says that with mortals it only works for what? It says like, what was it, like an hour? It'll work for an hour or a half hour if you're a mortal. Basically just makes it as usable and abusable as the fusion dance without any of the work required to actually, the work and the time to learn the dance. And I just don't like that. I don't like the removal of consequences. And it's the same thing with Dragon Balls. Now, instead of having Dragon Balls that have consequences, you now have one set of Dragon Balls where the only barrier to entry is to speak a certain language, and it can grant literally any wish. And then you have another set of Dragon Balls that can grant wishes that are far beyond their power. They never turn to stone. They have no reset time. You can use them as many times as you find the Dragon Balls, so you can make a wish, and then immediately go and find the 2 Dragon Balls again and make another wish in the same day if you wanted. Usable and abusable Dragon Balls that make wishes far beyond the power of their creator with a small monkey's paw. I don't like that. I don't like doing stuff like that. Oh yes, I totally count on Death Battle to give me a fair, unbiased answer to a question that has plagued a Dragon Ball community, a community in which they have displayed that they have a lot of times utter contempt for, and have shown frequently that they don't do half the research they say they do. Anything you want to say about Toei's lore? I mean, I understand why they do it. I'm not the biggest fan of all the things that they do. I thought originally I thought the idea of like the whole like fight between the Saiyans and the Tuffles and stuff was really fun and cool. And then I grew up. And then I learned more about the series and the story, and I'm just like, this is like a very superfluous kind of thing that didn't really need anything. They really didn't need to be added. It was added in, as filler. Yeah. Gogeta and Vegeta have literally been said that they are equal in strength. The Potara fusion isn't stronger than normal fusion. It's quote-unquote better because it doesn't have all the work that is required to do the Metamorph fusion. Like I talked about, you don't have to learn a certain amount of moves. You don't need time. You just need to put on the earrings and boom, you're good. The Metamorph fusion does the exact same thing without, but it has hoops and stuff that you gotta jump through. So it's a quote-unquote worse fusion because it takes more setup, you know? Hello, Isabella! Oh. It's a death battle, so yes, it's gonna be it will be a flame war. There will be people who feel strongly one way or the other. Don't have any Asu. Check. Ah, there we go. Alex, hello. I'm pretty good. And we're going to have a bit of a short, like I mentioned it at the top of the hour, we're probably going to have a bit of a short day today because we've only got one thumbnail to do this week. Because we're prepping for the Christmas event. We're prepping for Christmas. We've only got one thumbnail this week. The drawathon went really well. We actually hit my stretch goal, and then some. One second. Answering an important text message. Give me a second. The manga. I prefer the manga colors on a lot of things. Didn't Masako already say he would never do the female Vegeta storyline? Did he note? He said he would at 750K. And how come you sometimes don't use the actual manga colors right in the thumbnails? Because it's a matter of choice. Just because I prefer the colors on some things doesn't mean I always use them. I am also sometimes requested to use specific types of specific color patterns for certain characters, so, and sometimes that doesn't mesh up with what the manga uses. Use a Dokkan asset for Beerus, yeah. From where is this music? It's just royalty-free music. Here we go. Sounds like an RPG town theme music. It might be. What changes from the anime, in the anime from the manga that don't I like? Almost all of them. That's the simplest answer. I don't like almost all of the changes the anime did. You appreciate filler that adds character development? For the most part. I'm just not a big fan of, like, filler in general. That doesn't mean I don't like certain fillers and stuff like that, but it's almost like video game characters for me, you know? I feel like video game characters are fine on their own, but they need to stay in the video game, you know? Well, the manga never has to do filler, because the manga is just, it's doing what it has to do. Like, the only, like, filler you could ever consider, like, a manga to do, or is, like, if it does, like, a side story or something, you know? Like, to be honest, like, the Trunks, story. That could be considered filler, because, it's giving you background on Trunks, but, you know, it wasn't technically part of the main story. It was just a small, like, detour, you know? They have done quote-unquote filler before, but at least when they do filler, it is, like, relevant to the story at hand. Like, the anime, they do filler in the anime because they're waiting for the manga to put out more material for them to adapt. Or at least that used to be the way they did it. Oh. Thoughts on Chronoa's true form? Again, like, I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of, like, the Xenoverse storyline. I'm not a big fan of, like, the Xenoverse characters and stuff like that. I've harped on the fact that I think that a Supreme Kai of Time is, ridiculous. It is simply a vector for the video game. Because if you think about it, the Supreme Kais are supposed to make sure time travel and stuff doesn't happen. And they have time rings because of it. And they're the holder of the time rings. Why do we need a Supreme Kai whose whole point is to look after something that's supposed to be illegal illegal in terms of the gods anyway, lore-wise? And just how Dragon Ball handles fan service? I mean, it's fan service. I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna harp on fan service. Do you think Dragon Ball would have been a better as a story if if Toriyama wrote it as a novel, and was allowed themselves to take things more calmly and focus on the characters and world building? I don't know if Toriyama ever would have wrote a novel. Your job safe, A.
Job safe.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. I will say this though, chat. If you guys do want to help me out financially right now, please don't super chat. Because right now, YouTube is still withholding all of my AdSense money. I have like close to $400 in AdSense money, and I can't touch it because they haven't approved my tax forms yet. It's been sitting in there for a month, and I've been trying to push through my paperwork, and they're not touching it. So, do please, there are plenty of ways to assist me if you guys want to, but right now, super chats aren't doing it. I have to wait for YouTube and AdSense to get off their hind ends and actually approve my forms. Do I think it would have been better? I don't know. I think I don't know. I honestly think I mean, I don't have issues with Dragon Ball the way it is. You know, I don't have issues with Dragon Ball. I think a lot of people have perceived issues in Dragon Ball that have been like that aren't as big a deal as you think it is. Like, I think, you know, for the time that they came out, the characters got the character development and stuff that they needed. The story has just changed and evolved, you know? I don't like the, what do you call it, the argument, well, oh, well, this is like missed potential or, you know, or something like that. Lost potential or unused potential. If they had unused potential at the time in the story, then, you know, Akira Toriyama writing it as a novel wouldn't have done a whole lot to change anything about what happened. He told the story that he wanted to tell, basically. Besides, from everything that I've seen some like the light novels and stuff that sometimes get adapted into anime, and you know, every now and again, at least with some of the ones that I've seen that started off as light novels, they probably should have stayed light novels. You love Dragon Ball, but it could be better? Literally anything could be better. Nothing is perfect. Look no further than Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy, heck, even the original trilogy. There's all things about those particular films and stuff that could be better. They are not perfect. The sequel trilogy for sure isn't perfect. Do I feel that if a story has been concluded, it should be left as it is without the fans or publishing companies trying to pressure writers into making sequels worse than the main stories? I think pressuring people to make sequels and stuff like that is different. Fans make things, and they're, fan works in themselves are they tend to be imperfect. And I think that's one of the things that gives a lot of them charm. And I think fan works show that there is a level of interest left in the property. But when you pressure somebody to make a sequel to something that has like a story changed, and it's not made out of passion, it's made out of, oh, we're doing this because because money, then the quality tends to show itself, which is, I think, one reason why Boruto gets the level of flack that it does, because Boruto does not feel like a passion project. Boruto feels like, well, Naruto was big and huge, and we can't just let this gravy train stop. Thoughts on the Buu arc? I mean, it's okay. It is not my favorite arc of Dragon Ball, and especially in the manga, you can tell that Akira Toriyama is burned out. The way his writing style and everything changed during the Buu arc, the way his line art changed, and how, like, scratchy and quick it, which is why we got, like, a lot of, like, the angles and the very, very sharp points and stuff like that. You could just tell that Akira Toriyama, he was just like, oh man, I'm just throwing whatever I can at the wall to see what sticks. I'm just done. I want to go on and do something else. You could tell that that was the point that he was at. So while not my favorite, it is certainly not like my least favorite by any stretch of the imagination. I still love it for what it is. I think it still provides some really good character moments and stuff like that. And it gave us some stuff to remember and things that we look back fondly on. What about the end of Z? I mean, I like the end of Z. I just wish that Dragon Ball Super would stop trying to be a prequel to it and move past it already. I've mentioned it before, if Dragon Ball Super would just move past the end of Z and start telling a fresh new story instead of trying to tell me that all this stuff is happening before the end of Z, I wouldn't have as many complaints about it as I do. But the fact that they keep trying to say, oh, well, this time gap that, Goku and Bulma haven't seen each other in, but they're literally right there talking to each other. So what happens in the manga where she says she hasn't seen him in 5 years is just now a retconned lie. It's just like, I'm just like, man, please move past the end of Z so you could, because this is the inherent problem with writing a prequel or a midquel to something instead of having the prequel / midquel actually like happen in story, is that you wind up poking holes in the things that come after it, that have already come before, like, IRL, but come after it chronologically. So now they're messing up everything because they're trying to force everything into it, and like, it's not even the 10-year time gap. They're trying to force all of this into a 5-year time gap. Because Beerus doesn't show up until 5 years after Buu. So it's just like, man, can you guys just, like, after you do this, like, Dragon Ball Super superhero stuff, please just move past the end of Z. Then I can buy all these characters getting as strong as they are, because none of this feels like it should be taking place in Dragon Ball, or around the time of Dragon Ball Z. This all feels like post-Z stuff. So please move past the end of Z, and they'll be good on a lot of things. A lot of my gripes will vanish. I'll probably still not like a lot of the choices and stuff that you make, but that's the risk you take with anything. But at least I won't complain that you've completely removed any stakes because nothing of consequence can happen and stick, because we already know how it ends. If you move past the end of Z, that albatross that you have hanging over the series disappears. Now, consequences can happen. People can die and they might not be able to come back to life. Because as long as you're doing this before the end of Z, I know that if a character dies, they won't stay dead. There's no consequence to death, there's no consequence to the worlds and stuff being destroyed. All these giant world-rending problems that you're trying to say, oh, this is the biggest threat they've ever faced in their entire life. Yeah, but they're gonna fix it. You know why? Because we already know how it ends. If you move past the end of Z, I can start worrying about the characters again. And I think that was one of the reasons why, like, the Tournament of Power does not hit well for me, you know? The Tournament of Power, like, this was supposed to be, these are universe-ending effects, you know? Universe-ending consequences. If you lose this tournament, Universe 7's gonna be erased. Well, we know that's not gonna happen. You know, so the result of the tournament was already a foregone conclusion. But if it had taken place after the end of Z, and we don't know how it's supposed to end, then maybe I could have worried a little bit more. I could have worried about Universe 7 being completely, you know, eliminated or something like that. There was always a chance. But with us knowing how it's all supposed to end, there's no chance, and there's no stakes. Therefore, I can't worry. You know, like all those people who cried when, like, Master Roshi, like, pretty much died or whatever during the Tournament of Power. Well, I knew he was alive at the end of Z, so, like, that moment didn't hit as hard as it should have for me. Am I up to date with the Artemis 1 moon mission? No. I didn't even know there was a moon mission going on right now.
Daddy.
Urkel! Welcome on into the lounge, bud. You were following over here. Do I think they'll make End of Z non-canon? Well, first of all, the whole canon, non-canon thing, you might as well just take that whole, like, conversation and throw it in the garbage. Japan does not care about the canon versus non-canon debate. They're gonna do whatever they want to. They do whatever they think will make money and sell, and sell toys. So the whole canon versus non-canon debate, you can just toss that in the garbage. It's not even a point of conversation anymore. They literally don't care. they have said that they didn't plan on retconning the end of Z before. You know, Goku will still meet Oob and stuff like that. They've already, like, teased it. You know, so... I don't know. I just want them to move past it is all. Just working on Dragon Ball stuff? Yes, we are. I mean, for the most part, Don Boss, yeah. Like, through the whole Tournament of Power, like, all these moments that are supposed to hit hard for me just aren't hitting hard. All because this is all just the period of time in which you placed the event. I would have cared so much more about the Tournament of Power had it taken place after Z, and I didn't know that all these characters are still alive at the end of it. You know? So, honestly, until they come out and say, like, well, the end of Z story in the manga, because they've already said they're not doing anything that's changing the manga. You know, until they do something that says just like, okay, well, what happened in the manga doesn't affect this or whatever, but they're not going to. I have a hard time caring about anything that's all supposed to fit in this small little 5-year time gap. And this is why I keep saying, you know, prequels and midquels can sometimes be rough, because unless you've plotted everything out, you can really poke holes in your own story. Did you ever notice that both Goten and Bra, we don't say Bulla around here, I refuse to use that name, were born with a 10-year difference from their older brothers? Yeah, it's about right. It's like, so like, for an example of like a prequel story where, you know, I'm, something that I'm doing. So like the History of Rigor, right? History of Rigor is a prequel story for Rigor, but it doesn't use a lot of the main cast at all. One of the things that I was wanting to do was, you know, like, I wanted to introduce some characters who were, like, side characters, basically, in Dragon Ball. And just, like, have them basically make, like, cameo appearances. But I realized that by doing that, it would defeat the entire, one of the premises that I have of Rigor when he's in his exile. So I can't do that. You know? despite how cool I think the particular moment would be, I can't do it because it would muck with the internal continuity I've already set. And it's, you know, I think the reason why Toei Animation doesn't, like, they don't really adhere to the whole concept of canon and stuff anymore is because it boxes them in and it wouldn't allow them to do certain things. And they want to just be able to do what they want. What do I think of the Hakaishin's designs? I mean, the Hakaishin outfit is kind of okay. I think the outfit doesn't fit the other Hakaishin. It seems to more fit, like, Beerus and the Egyptian themed Hakaishin. I think it's because that particular outfit really, like, sells, like, it really invokes a feeling of, like, very Egyptian theme, right? So when you just slap it on any other character, it can feel conflicting. Like, this design doesn't look like it belongs on, like, the Dragon Ball version of the Joker. It doesn't look like it belongs on a giant robot. It doesn't look like it belongs on a green dwarf. It fits Beerus because he looks like an Egyptian cat. It fits the Egyptian-themed Hakaishin because she's an Egyptian cat. It looks like it, yeah, it looks like it fits Champa because Champa is basically Beerus but fat. The character designs are just, you know, eh. Did I design the Dragon Ball Super Thor and Odin? I designed Thor, Odin, and Loki for that Dragon Ball Norse story. Where can you read Dragon Ball New Age? You can read it at the Tao of Dragon Ball. Let me see. Yeah, literally, if you Google Dragon Ball New Age, it's typically the first result. But there's a link for it just in case. Do I think nuclear bombs exist in Dragon Ball? I think they've already established that they do. Oh, Super didn't do that. Dragon Ball Super didn't do that. Akira Toriyama did that before Super was even out. Yeah, 16 has a bomb, but it's not a nuclear bomb. Something, I don't know, something tells me King Furry wouldn't sign off on weapons that could wipe out a good portion of the planet. Where's the kaboom? Actually, Don Boss, he didn't. So, okay. The whole Dragon Ball Minus thing, that's all a prequel. That's all, like, what happened before Planet Vegeta was destroyed. But, if you notice, when Bardock is fighting Frieza at the end of it, he's still wearing the outfit that he was wearing in the TV special. Like, Dragon Ball Minus doesn't show, like, doesn't show the end fight, but you can see the end of the fight in, the Broly movie. And Bardock is still wearing the outfit that he was wearing in the TV special. And besides that, I think retconning the TV special completely out of existence is warranted because Bardock doesn't need useless-ass psychic powers. Guns are actually dangerous for people with a power level over 50. The only reason they aren't is because they get caught off, is because, like, you can get caught off guard, you know? What's her name? Videl is technically stronger than most humans, and she still got wounded by a bullet. I can see the future! Before I wondered if you could combine the Bardock special Minus and Zero. Like, I think you could combine aspects of the Bardock TV special and Minus. You could keep Minus, right? And combine some aspects of the TV special for Bardock, and it would fit fine. They do not have to be mutually exclusive. Bardock served his purpose, you know. I think it's good for Bardock and Gine to stay dead. One, it's because I don't want Dragon Ball to fall into the plot, into the pothole that like Western comics do, where, you know, death is basically a summer break for every character. I literally think the only character who's never been brought back to life has been like Bruce Wayne's parents and Uncle Ben. I think those are the only characters who've never been brought back to life at any point in time. Even Peter Parker's parents have been brought back to life. But I want certain characters to stay dead so that their deaths and stuff have meaning. If Bardock and Guinea are up kicking around, then they're what feels like a senseless death keeps holding that impact, and it makes you wish that it hadn't been that way, and that's good for their character. Really wish Goten was the resurrection of Bardock or Guinea. Like I said, I'm glad that they stayed, passed away. I would think that as long as they've been dead, Bardock and Guinea's souls have probably been reincarnated already. It wouldn't surprise me if, they found out that, Bardock's soul is Goten or something like that. Yeah, character died one time. They're better now. Goten and Guinea and a lot of characters actually had similar hair. It's a common piece of trivia, commonly known piece of trivia, that Gohan's hair all throughout the series is based off of Yamcha. The hair that Gohan had at the beginning of the series is basically Bandit Yamcha's hair. Then, at the, in the post-Namek arc, Yamcha had a bowl cut. And then, Gohan had the same haircut and stuff like that. And the whole, universe reason is because Gohan thinks that Yamcha's super cool. And because Yamcha's a famous baseball player and stuff like that, so he constantly looks at him as the epitome of cool, and he wants haircuts like that. I wish a lot of things for Super. I wish characters didn't have stagnant character designs. I wish they, like I was really excited when I saw the geese and stuff for Resurrection F, because I thought, oh, well, maybe they're actually going to do what they usually, what they were doing before, where characters are going to change their outfits, you know? And they're not just going to wear the exact same thing, like every other cartoon and stuff, where the characters never change their outfits. They just wear the same pair of clothes over and over and over again. No, I was a fool to believe. What character do you feel deserved better than what they got right now? Well, probably the only one that, like, really brings anything to mind is Trunks. And the only reason I feel like he deserved better than what he got was because his story was done and they rehashed it and told a worse version of it. They should have just left Trunks alone. Yamcha does deserve a little bit. Yamcha does deserve better, and I think Ten Shinhan should be in a better situation. I think Yamcha should have been a bigger deal than he actually was. Yamcha should be a bigger deal than he actually is, and so should Ten Shinhan. But, like, to be honest, like, with Yamcha, we got a little bit of that catharsis of, like, him actually being a bigger deal than he actually was with the That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha manga. That actually gave us the catharsis that like, if you're a Yamcha fan, that you want. Because it shows Yamcha being useful. It shows him, like, having the potential to be a big influence on the story. You know? So, like, we've gotten the catharsis for Yamcha. I think we need that for Ten Shinhan. No, I think the dumbest and disrespectful thing that they did to Trunks was the whole basically stealing his win out from under him and the Zeno button. That was the stupidest and most disrespectful thing they could have done. They legit gave Trunks the win and then pulled the rug out from under you at the last second. And said, oh, by the way, nope, you didn't actually win. In fact, you made things even worse. And I think that's terrible. And then the ending of that completely, like, demonstrously invalidates the whole arc. The whole arc is undone by Zeno erasing that entire timeline. Like, you literally wasted an entire arc because at the end, you didn't win. You did not win. You did not win. In fact, you lost literally everything. You lost all of the innocent people of Earth. You lost all of the timelines and stuff. All the universes and stuff of that universe are now dead. You erased the timeline. There's literally nothing left. You did not come out the winner on that one. You know what is the better ending? Yeah, there's only a couple hundred people left. But the hopeful and optimistic person that Trunks was if you had just given him the win. If you just gave him the win, the hopeful and optimistic Trunks would show you that no matter how bad things can get, you can still pull through, and that you can make the best out of a bad situation. And yes, there's only a couple hundred mortals left on that planet, but you know what? We can rebuild. We did it before, we'll do it again. We got knocked off our horse, well, we're gonna get back up and we're gonna get back on that horse. But no, we're just gonna erase the timeline and then send Trunks to another timeline where he already exists. Yeah, that's a very fulfilling ending. Get up in that and you eat that horse. You think Toriyama's getting dementia? No. Toriyama, like, is basically, he's not, this isn't like what, writing Dragon Ball Super is not the same as it was when Toriyama was writing Dragon Ball. Toriyama was, like, hands-on doing everything for Dragon Ball. With Dragon Ball Super, he's provided cliff notes. He writes approximately 10% of it. Toei and Toyotaro write the other 90%. This isn't so much a Toriyama problem as it is a too many cooks in the kitchen problem. And I think the thing that makes me mad about Super doing what they're doing, all this, like, all the nostalgia tripping and stuff like that, and taking these is like, they're better than that. They can do better than that. They've shown that they have the potential to do better than that. So why take moments that already resonated, that already hit, and do them worse? That's my thing. They keep trying to take these cool events and stuff, you know, it just feels very corporate, you know? They're taking all these moments and events that have already resonated and hit, and they're trying to redo them again and capture the same magic in a bottle, and they're not. And I hate it because I know they're better than that. I think it's messed up that Mai is getting paired up with Kid Trunks. She's over 50. I think that ship has already sailed. I think that ship has already sailed. And it's not like they did anything. And plus, Mai was stuck in a kid's body. Actually, I think here's my edge. I'm gonna attempt something, chat. I haven't done this before, but I'm gonna try this. Actually, what? I want to switch these colors around. There we go. Yeah, that's more what I was looking for. Yeah, we're gonna add that. We're gonna add a glow effect to it in a minute. Hit Hawkeye go burr. First, I want to duplicate this layer. Add a blur effect to it. Yeah, give it that glow. This one, we're going to also add a blur effect to it, but we're going to lessen it. There we go. Then we're gonna go here, airbrush, little aura around Mobity and Beerus. Break them up from Zamasu a little bit. Okay. Blur. I think that looks good, chat. Yeah, I think it looks good. Send it over to the boss, see what he... Yep, we got the approval on that one, chat. There we go. Surprise you if it wasn't approved. Every now and again, doesn't happen often, but every now and again, Masako does have me like fix some. All right. Ugh. I have got to be honest, chat. I am worn to a frazzle. Extremely tired. Yeah, it's just tired. I'm just tired. Coming down and worn out. I just gotta be honest, I'm worn out. what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it for right now. I kind of just want to go and take a little bit of a nap. I'm really, really sleepy. And I'm probably gonna work on some Dragon Ball New Age, like maybe like off stream or something. I'm just very, very sleepy. I gotta be honest. I'm tired. I'm worn out. I had a long, long weekend, and a lot of things on my mind, and I just want to take a nap. But I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I already said that today was gonna be a short day anyway. We got our work done. And especially over the next month, we are going to have a lot going on with the Christmas What If. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I'm going to head out. I am going to go and take my nap and then maybe do some work later. So thank you guys for coming out. I'll see you guys back over on Twitch on Friday. I am Malik Torihane. That is the lovely Wallet Chan. Thanks for coming out, guys. I'll see all of my lovely loungers again next time.